Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ross Coppage, and I'm going to be your instructor for this course entitled The Fundamentals of Information Security. I really hope you enjoy this course. To begin with, I'll tell you a little bit about my background and the context from which I come from. I have over 20 plus years. I've served in senior technical and leadership roles and for multiple organizations. And so I've been a system administrator, I've been a network and firewall engineer, I've done penetration testing and network scanning, I've been a CERT team analyst catching hackers and responding to incidents. I've stood up insider threat a program for a large agency after the Edward Snowden attack on the NSA. That was for a government agency. And I'm also a cyber operations officer for the Air Force Reserve. As far as my education, I have a master's degree in information security from Lewis University in Chicago, and I have a bachelor's degree in information systems from Park University in Missouri. I also have the SANS GIAC Security Leadership Certification, as well as the ACE Computer Forensic Certification from Access Data. So that's a little bit about my background. All these things that I'm talking about here I've done for 4 main agencies, and those include the Defense Information Systems Agency, the Air Force Network Integration Center, the Army Software Engineering Center, and the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. And that is a mouthful. So that is a little bit about my background. So let's talk about the course. To begin with, we're going to talk about the definition of information security and what it means to you and to all of us in this digital world today. And that's going to be couched around a concept called confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And this is known as the information security triad. Next, we're going to talk about key terms and words. So we want to make sure that you have a fundamental basic understanding of all the technical terms and words we're going to use throughout the course before we get to the course material. Next, we're going to talk about attack examples. And this is important because we want you to understand in the real world what is actually happening out there with hacker attacks and the devastation that they can cause. And this is going to really root what we're talking about in reality. Next, we're going to talk about network security and host security. And this is going to be discussed in terms of what's called defense in depth. And that's a concept of having multiple security layers in your security environment, in your network environment, from the edge of your network all the way to the inside of your network. So if one of these layers fails, hopefully another one will pick up. That's the concept around defense in depth, and we'll talk about that in this course. Next, we're going to talk about physical security, and that is exactly what it sounds like. That's the concept of physically locking away your systems and servers from those that don't need to have access to them. So after we put all these technical security measures in place, we want to make sure someone can't open up the back door, grab your server, and walk out the back. So that is the concept of having security cameras, locks, procedures in place for how you handle security and intrusion detection systems and so on. Next, we're going to talk about auditing and logging. And that is a critical component of information security, and that has to do with having visibility of what's going on in your network. So you know what's going on right now. If you're under attack, you can see that, or you were able to do a forensic evaluation of an attack that happened in the past, so you know what the vulnerability was that they exploited, so that you can close that vulnerability so it won't happen again. So that is the concept of auditing and logging that we will discuss. Next, we want to talk about the concept of security testing. Once you have this amazing security infrastructure in place and you have all these security measures in place, you want to make sure that you not only trust, but you verify that these things are working. So that includes testing on a regular basis, testing that all the security configurations are done correctly and that they're implemented properly, and also scanning the network from the perspective of an outside attacker and understanding what kind of vulnerabilities they may try to exploit in your network. That is the concept around security testing, so that you can close the vulnerabilities that there are on your systems and networks. Next, we're going to talk about policies and procedures. And this is the concept of having an overarching security policy and procedures in place that tell you how you're going to manage and implement your information security program. And procedures called standard operating procedures are going to give you step-by-step instructions how to do each subcomponent of your overarching information security policy. So that is the program. That is the course in a nutshell. And now we're going to talk about uh, why you may want to take this course. This course is going to be important to you regardless of your background, regardless of where you come from, whether you're the individual at home surfing the internet and buying things on the internet with your credit card, maybe doing your taxes at home, or maybe you're the CEO at the top of an organization worth billions of dollars with thousands of servers and systems. You need this information. You need to have this fundamental understanding of information security, regardless of which perspective you come from. At home, you need to know why do you need to have those latest updates on your virus software. The CEO needs to be able to understand and interpret what his security engineers are telling him, why he needs to spend the money on that new security tool. So this information is critical regardless of where you come from, regardless of your background. We really hope that you're able to leverage this information and gain value from this course in these areas. I hope the knowledge that I'm sharing can help you achieve your goals and find success in whatever form, whatever shape it may be. Thank you. I'm Ross Coppage.